Most archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh are designed around weebs, or edgelords, or edgy weebs. But what about the jocks, the sigmas, the pure adrenaline, hyperactive, athletic chads who play wait, what do you mean there aren't any? Well, what are we going to do with all these sports cards? UAs, or Ultra Athletes, are a series of monsters that tag in and out to set up the perfect field and make the perfect plays. This deck can do it all: deal massive, over-the-top OTKs, set up a negate for your opponent's turn, and even banish anything that dares to battle one of your monsters. The only problem is that this deck can brick, and it can brick hard. Let's talk about the deck I played to KoG this month, UAs. When I was first playing UAs, I tried this variant of the deck that uses the skill Guardian Call to search Guardian Eados after losing 1800 life points. Not only was Guardian Eados a free body with big stats, but also potential discard fodder. It's not that there's anything wrong with this build, but I'd rather use Destiny Draw, which only requires losing 200 more life points to search anything in the deck. Once I realized this, I figured it just wasn't worth playing the Guardian Eados build, and I switched to something more standard that looks like this. A lot of these cards have been around for a while, so I'll go over them quickly. Midfielder is this deck's only normal summon and is able to easily trigger the field spell. It can also tag out another UA at any time, which helps dodge effects and recycle the equip spell, but I'll get more to that later. Perfect Ace can negate any card effect on your opponent's turn by discarding a card. I don't have to tell you why a searchable, easy to summon Omni Negate is a good card. Dreadnought Dunter does piercing, and when you do battle damage, it can destroy another card on the field. You can also pop your own penalty boxes to get searches. Rival Rebounder special summons a UA from the hand or the graveyard when it's normal summoned. This is the deck's only way to recur UAs that have gone to the graveyard. And the last UA monster is Mighty Slaughter, which prevents your opponent from activating cards or effects when it attacks, helping you push for lethal through cards like Kiteroid and Sphere Karibo. Now onto the spells and traps. We have the field spell, UA Stadium, which searches any UA monster when you normal summon a UA monster. Also, when you special summon a UA monster, all monsters, and I mean all monsters you control, gain 500 attack points. This not only helps you push for lethal, but means you can end up with a beefy Paleozoic monster or its seed for no reason. UA Penalty Bots lets you banish an opponent's battling monster for 2 turns if the combat involves your UA. While this is useful for dealing with problematic cards like Saber Dancer, the best part about this card is the Graveyard effect, where by banishing it, you can search for any UA spell or trap. This lets you access any of your combo pieces extremely easily, and it's why you don't have to play playsets of most of the UA spells or traps. You can send this to the grave with Paleozoic Morella from the deck, meaning resolving this is very consistent. Now the real reason to play this deck again is because of the new UA cards, Power Jersey and Signing Deal. Power Jersey is easily the most bonkers equipped spell ever added to Duel Links. The monster it is equipped to gains 1000 attack and defense, and if it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is doubled. Also, if the equipped monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it can attack again. Unfortunately, during your standby phase, you will have to banish the equipped monster, but there's a way to get around that. If Power Jersey is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was returned to the hand, you can return Power Jersey to your hand, which means that you can bounce back the monster equipped with Power Jersey to your hand with Midfielder, so that you can use it again on the following turn. The last UA card we run is Signing Deal, which can special summon any UA from the deck, but then you take 300 damage times the monster's level, also that monster's effects are negated. Usually you'll be summoning Midfielder, but sometimes it's worth summoning Perfect Ace to tag it out, then tag it back in to get a negate, or Dunter to hit for big lethal. The damage you take from Signing Deal is perfect for helping you trigger D-Draw when your opponents are too scared to attack. Now onto the tech cards. We have Kiteroid to mitigate damage and trigger Destiny Draw. We have Hatrunade for back row. Paleozoic Canadia is not only a flip, but a free body to use for tribute summoning your UAs in a pinch. Paleozoic Morella is also a free body, but sends penalty bots from the deck to the grave, which equals a free search, as I said before. The extra deck is mostly cosmetic. I almost never go into the extra deck, but it's nice to have something there just in case. Volcasaurus is free burn damage. Excalibur is a 4k beat stick. The Utopia package is lethal when under 1000 life points. Gaia Charger can be put on top of Volcasaurus for piercing damage. Malevolent Sin is removal and 2400 damage. And finally, Crumble Logos is a negate and can be made using 2 Paleozoic monsters. And that's the deck. Yues are a lot of fun to play and can play around all sorts of matchups with the right hand. The only issue with this deck is, despite how many of the cards search other cards, you really only have so many starters, and a lot of the big monsters can clog up your opening hand. Sometimes you will lose, and it's just the nature of UAs, but this deck can go off, and smashing your opponent's face in with Dunker piercing over their tiny monster for 6,000 damage is a fantastic feeling. Give this deck a try, though it probably isn't going to be meta anytime soon. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this kind of content, consider subscribing to the channel. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll see you in the next one.